How's it going, Lou? I was planning on presenting this in class and explaining the PowerPoint slides that I created because I think that's crucial in my developing this brand or my own brand. So I decided to record a video of myself presenting, almost acting like I was in class, to help guide you through it and help emphasize how I feel my brand and my project that I created represents me. So, Full Heart. That is my concept name. The origins and development of my personal brand. I was struggling, I do a lot of different things, and I was struggling figuring out what would really represent me, and I didn't feel a video or a photograph or a drawing or a piece of clothes would represent me because I feel I am so much. So I thought I'd do a compilation of a lot of the things that help define me and have over my life thus far. And also, as you can see, there's 5 little illustrations. These are just some little characters that I have developed, come within. I like the idea of kind of cute characters. I think they're fun. And the more characters you draw, a story could be told. So, without further ado, Full Heart, a personal narrative of my brand. So, let's go back to high school. I absolutely love nature. Definitely had a hippie phase, stoner phase, environmental activism phase. It's still within me, but back in high school it was so heavy. Even going back to when I was a young kid, I used to dig in the dirt to find salamanders and worms, and I remember how much I loved that feeling. So junior year of high school, I live in Walled Lake, West Bloomfield area, and I saw a bald eagle fly over Welch Road, Welch and 14 Mile. And seeing this, I swerved my car to the side of the road, got out, and recorded this bald eagle. And my jaw dropped. I didn't understand that bald eagles were in the area that I lived. I thought they were all killed because of the DDT. But surprisingly, I learned that they're more prevalent now. And due to this, I became very fascinated in birds. I started using a software called eBird, which allowed you to record the bird species that you see and share them with people. So I would do that, and I would follow where other birds were. This is what got me into photography and videography. As you can see, here's a picture of some great horned owls, a tree frog, and a belted kingfisher. Belted kingfisher is also the bird that is on my arm. I'm trying to pull it out right now. I'll put a picture in there. But this bird's very inspirational to me, and these animals and biological systems and biotic life has such a big influence on me now and has in the past. This fascination with Earth and life and plants and sustainability also was the reason why I chose Michigan State University. I originally was studying environmental studies and sustainability, as well as biology. I wanted to be an ornithologist, someone who studies birds. And due to this, I enrolled in a program called RISE, which is the Residential Initiative on the Study of the Environment. It's a living learning program located in Bailey Hall in the Brody neighborhood, and every student in it is studying environmental studies to some capacity. Some are majoring in it, and some are minoring in it, or some just have an interest in it. It really connects a bunch of students with that passion to save the earth, and because of that proximity of you learn where you sleep, you work where you sleep, your friends are down the hall, there's a lot of passion and inspiration in that hall. So through RISE, I learned how to beekeep. I learned how to compost. I learned how to teach. I was a teacher's assistant. I learned how to be an RA. I was an RA for 2 years. I learned web design. I learned graphic design. It also introduced me to social media and advertising. It put me in front of a camera. I was a poster child for MSU for a moment in time. I was on billboards. I was on Facebook ads. I was on the foldy things in the cafeterias. And this was really an interesting feeling for me to be the center of attention. But it definitely built my confidence and made me realize that if I put my heart into it, which also goes back to the narrative, my full heart, I can truly do anything I want. And I put my heart into it, I put my soul into it, and I will be able to make an impact. It also put me in front of a camera in terms of interviews, which is a great skill to have, and I'm happy that this all happened. I also have a minor in undergraduate entrepreneurship, and this is where it gets fun. I was able to link entrepreneurship with environmental studies, and with a faculty of business professors and entrepreneurship professors, created the first ever student-run MSU startup supported by the university. The university gave us $25,000 to develop this tea company. With me and 3 other students, we had no idea how to run a business. We weren't studying business, we haven't had past experience, but we learned through doing. Land Grant Goods is what it's called, and it's a student-run business, value-added products. So we have herbal tea, honey, jams, lip balm. We really emphasize the whole farm-to-table feel. And students do everything. They harvest, they grow, they process, they package, they sell, they market, they do logistics, they do accounting. It's very impressive, and the fact that I was the CEO and am the founder was such a great experience. I've learned so much about business development that I'm confident in helping with running a business in the future. Also, through this experience with Land Grant Goods, I had the ability to be an alumni and international diplomat for the university. My partner Abdullah and I, who worked on the business with me, 2 summers ago, we would travel around and meet alumni and tell them about the company. We also had the opportunity to go to Japan. In the center of this picture here is President Karachi. He is the president of Japan Cornstarch, the largest cornstarch company in Japan. They provide a lot of their cornstarch and corn syrup to Coca-Cola, actually. So he paid for us to go there, and we had a month-long internship. The first half of this internship was in Nagoya, which is the countryside, and we learned the processing aspect of cornstarch, and it's so complicated and so tedious, but seeing how well it flows was a beautiful sight. And then the second half was Tokyo, seeing the business logistics, and the environment inside this office was so tense. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. I was fortunate enough to get this opportunity, and that was my first time out of the country, and it really opened up my worldview and helped me understand that people are so different. You need to embrace that. You can't get caught up in not liking somebody because they're different. You need to embrace it and see it and work with it and learn from it and respect it. Another traveling experience that I had, which helps contribute to this narrative that I'm telling of a full heart, is I applied for a grant to film an environmental documentary in India. So last summer, we received the grant, and we traveled to India to film a documentary on vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is the process of worms eating food waste or cow manure or vegetable scraps or horticulture waste, goes through their body, they shit it out, and then it becomes very fertile soil, which horticulture can grow. So you can close the food loop. And especially in rural India, this is very important and impactful for the people. It's a good way to make money and also not spend as much money. It's a more sustainable method of living. It's very inspirational to me, and our ability to connect with the largest vermicomposting facility and operation in the world just through email very, very much inspired me and showed me once again that if I put my heart and care towards something, I truly can do anything. We will have this documentary out hopefully before the end of spring semester. We filmed in the summer, but we're busy, and John's taking the main lead on it, and we're taking our time and want to make sure that it's at its fullest quality before we release it. Moving away from the traveling aspect, I'm going to talk about something I call Aisle 54, which is a creative collective that me and my friends started about last year when I was at RA. In essence, I would say it is abstract creativity. I was RA, I was living in the dorms, I felt very sheltered, and I wasn't doing well mentally. I was studying environmental studies still. I wasn't feeling very, I wasn't feeling very actualized. So me and some friends created this art collective, and it really expanded our bounds. We made a podcast. I'll include the link in the description of this video if you would be interested in watching. And we have other videos as well. We paint, as you can see in this photo. Here's a painting that I did on my wall, Cloud. We do photography, graphic design, music production. It's fun. It's just a space for us to explore and create and kind of push social bounds through our expression. And this really called my heart. I felt that what I was doing was influencing my friends and my group incredibly, and it was a very positive thing in our lives that we could look forward to. Next creative space that I have created, Smiley Days. So, like I was saying, I wasn't doing great as a RA. I got fired. I failed 2 classes. I failed hard, which I'm not proud of, but shit happens, and I learned from it. As well as I wasn't strict enough as an RA, so I separated myself from that. I moved in with a high school friend named Miles, and myself, Miles, and Miles' friend, which is now my friend Tommy, started Smiley Days. Originally, it was planned to be an apparel company, but after some thinking, we wanted to do something for mental health, and we did do apparel. We sold shirts, but our biggest event was Music for Minds. It was a concert that we held at Mac's Bar on the east side of Lansing on Michigan Avenue, and at this bar, we organized 5 bands. We organized the design of the setup. We organized shirts, ticket sales, everything, multimedia, promotion, advertisements. And we raised $1,500 to Jimho, which is Justice and Mental Health Organization, which is located on Cherry Street in Lansing, for Lansing citizens who are homeless and or have severe mental dissonance. It's very sad to see, but it's thankful that something like Jimho could exist, that people have their hearts to work there and help people, even though they have very little money. So for us to be able to throw something like this and not worry about profits for ourselves, but try to save for someone else and give someone else our profits, it was inspirational. It felt so great to give back, and it kind of enlightened the philanthropy in me. Now, the third and final creative space that I'll be talking about, Mori House. This is my current creative venture that my heart and soul is poured into. I'm having a great time. I'm supporting my colleagues in this, and I know that we're doing a great job working together. Mori House stands for Forest House in Japanese. It's a collective as well, but right now we're focusing on a clothing brand, and that is called Kind-Hearted. As you can see on those 3 stick figures, that says Kind-Hearted in kanji, also Nani Tozo, which we are calling Kind-Hearted, but in reality it means may I please, so it's asking a question. We're screen printing in this house on the east side of Lansing and selling shirts. I've been doing a lot of the screen printing as well as the advertising through guerrilla advertising, through talking to people in class, guerrilla marketing, as well as scheduling Instagram posts and having strategy in the content we post. At this point during my presentation, I was planning on throwing 2 shirts to random people. I was going to ask who wants a shirt, and I was hoping that there'd be a lot of interest, and I was going to throw the shirts out. But unfortunately, I didn't present, so I just passed the shirts out at the end of class. So I just talked a lot. Full heart. That is my brand. I have a full heart, and when I care about something, I care about it deeply. I will put my all into it. I will be successful with it, and I will support my friends. I'm a great asset to have. For any organization or people, I will provide, I will care, I will create, and I will be there to support and grow a company. I have great ideas, I promise you, and I'm ready to continue to develop them, to continue to develop skills that will help me further them, and to impact people around the world and make a change. I don't know if you have Instagram, Lou, but if you do, check out Alex Noah Marks. Also, this last slide is a video of myself and my friend painting over my wall in my dorm room when I was a RA. I would allow my residents to come in and paint on the wall and express themselves. It was a great opportunity for a narrative and a dialogue and a mash of ideas and thoughts and freedom and breaking down boundaries. But we decided to paint over it, 1, so I didn't get fined, and 2, because it was getting messy. And what I'm trying to say from this painting over is I think that you should never be afraid to paint over your art. Nothing is stable in this world, either talking about people's lives, jobs, lovers, anything like that, even the earth, the climate. We're not stable. So you need to be ready for change and ready to accept that. And if you're able to do that yourself without it forcefully happening every time, and you're able to accept that and embrace it, I think you have a lot going for you, if that's what I want to say. I think it's very helpful for the person. So I have a full heart, and I'm ready to work hard, and I appreciate you teaching me and giving me the advice you give me. I hope you have a happy holiday, and I hope you watched this all the way through and enjoyed it. Best wishes, A. Marks.